Okay, it's going. So, I know we are. I guess we already kind of said all our examples. I'll say mine again though. So, I had a case. I found a case where um, a gentleman he filed a complaint with the EEOC because his son was discriminated against um, by a Kroger personality test that he had to take to get the job. Um, and anyway, his son failed the personality test because he's bipolar, and um, he didn't disclose that he's bipolar. It just the results of the test showed that he had some kind of issue like that. And so they filed a complaint, and it was one of those ones where the EEOC decided to take it on themselves. And so they're suing not just Kroger, but they're like taking on the whole concept of personality tests and whether those are okay or not. So they never gave him the notice of the right to sue. They just took it on themselves and sued.
Josh, see, I don't understand this. Like, I feel like it should be the business. I mean, it's capitalism, you know. It's a private business. They should have the right to hire and fire who they want, you know, based on their stipulations. Did you guys hear about the I think it was in Arizona or New Mexico or something? There was this lady had like a little baking. I could be getting this all wrong, but essentially this lady had like a little baking company, and a gay couple wanted her to bake a cake for them, and she refused
Oh,
because
I did hear about that.
she said it was against her religious beliefs, and they sued her. And I'm assuming it was, well, I don't know if it had to do with the EEOC, because I mean they weren't an employee, but she, I mean, obviously she has the right to, you know, sell to who she wants to, you know. I don't know why. And they won too. She lost.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Are we ready to go?
Yeah, we're going.
Oh,
And yeah, the thing is with this one, like it had to do with the disability that the kid had, and he wasn't. It specified that he wasn't legally required to disclose his disability, right? Because they shouldn't discriminate against that. But it was like they gave him a test to like establish whether or not he could perform in the job,
Uh-huh.
and he failed that test. Like it was performance based. It wasn't based on whether or not they wanted someone with disabilities.
Yeah. So what are they going to stop doing, like interviews for people and just hire any random Joe Schmo off the street? Because
I
isn't that
guess.
discriminating? Like if you do an interview, you're like, no, we don't feel you're qualified for this job. I feel like that's the
Yeah,
same thing, you know?
it's this. It really is the same thing. I I read this. This is unreal. I think I was just reading this just because last week, but Microsoft has been pushing for a long time, being diverse in people they hire, and they've been saying it, yet their numbers are still like really bad. They're still mostly just white males, and so they finally just they tied executive pay to the diversity, like in that executive's department. So their bonuses will be based on how well they've diversified their employees. So they're going to be hiring based on diversity and not performance.
oh, that's so stupid.
Basically, is the gist of it.
Wow.
So who wrote that? The
That was
specific company?
the article was it was on Yahoo Finance. I can't remember who wrote it, but it was about Microsoft.
Oh gosh. See
Well,
Microsoft take here in the
Microsoft
next
is
couple
going to go
years.
down the
Yeah.
drain, yeah.
I would stop investing in them if they started doing that kind of thing. Go ahead and buy stocks from them.
Well, then I would sue you, Paul, because
Yeah, exactly.
Stupid. Shut up, Bruce.
that makes you a racist, I think.
I think it makes me rational. Racist. I am from the South. Oh, jeez. Just
Well,
kidding.
my example, was about the dreadlock chick, Chastity Jones,
Chastity.
Was
Her husband
hired-
Justice.
hired
CJ.
by a company, and then the HR department said, "Hey, you got to cut your dreadlocks." She's a black lady. You got to cut your dreadlocks because they tend to get messy, is what they said. And she refused to cut them, and then they let her go because she wouldn't comply with, the grooming standards. And then like the EEOC came in and said, "Oh, you can't do that because this is part of her culture. The hairstyle is part of the African culture,
Oh, great.
and that's racist if you do that." And then like kind of the rest of the article was talking about how like I don't remember who was saying it, but one guy's like, the EEOC has no claim over like hairstyles. Like hairstyle does not determine a person's race. Like never has that ever happened before. So we're not going to make it happen now. So the appeal was dismissed. So it went to the appeals court, and then the motion was dismissed. So they lost. So they did end up having a right to fire her or let her go because she wouldn't comply with their dress and grooming standards.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I thought it was. So there's another one where the EEOC lost.
Yeah, and she had a choice. They didn't fire her against her will.
Yeah,
She doesn't have to work there, and if she wants to, she can comply.
and it sounds like to me,